so I may have started without you. I'm standing here mixing this going, oh shit, watching it change from, you know, nothing to something. But anyway, alright, we are making something. Oh, yeah, Clove, orange and Cedarleaf. I know I've made it before, I do not know what happens. So I don't know if it discolours. I'm going to assume that it would with clove in it, but I don't know why I assume that, because I assume things and they never happen. So anyway, so I'm just going to pretend that it's going to be perfectly behaved and go from there. I am going to do 3 layers. I didn't put any oil in them first, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to do mocha in one layer, marigold in the other, and then a paler, oh, no I'm not. That's right. I've got these 3 out, but I don't think I like these cornflower petals for this because they're blue. So we'll leave them aside. Oh, they're on the floor now. But for I've got the safflower petals and some calendula petals. I think will go really nice. So the top layer actually has to be white, or whatever colour this goes when if it discolours. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're putting those on top. So I'm gonna actually do a textured top. I'll just do the normal pull up with the spoon, and then I'll put calendula petal, blah blah blah. I really should edit these videos and then you would never have heard that stupidity. However, I do edit my videos, I just don't edit the stupidity out. Because you guys are as crazy as me and seem to enjoy it. Anyway, I'm going to put the calendula petals down one side and the safflower petals on the other. I got that right in one sentence. Okie dokie. And then I'll probably missed a little bit of gold and red. Standing here in this, just like, what the hell is she doing? Gold and red mica on the top just to make it a little bit sparklies. Alright, so I should stop fart-assing around, although, you know, it's not going to sit here and go, shh. Alright, we'll give it a little zhuzh and get her emulsified, and then we'll see what happens from there. Well, that's right, that doesn't stand up. Far out. I don't know. Something's seriously wrong with me. Yeah, she's good to go. I want to give these all a mix anyway, so because I didn't mix the colours with the oils before, so I've chosen the mocha because it's a really nice dark brown. It's like a clove kind of colour. The marigold I chose because it's pretty much the most pastel of the oranges that I have, so it's not a in your face bright orange, which I don't think this soap needs because it's the wrong fragrance for that. And then this, hopefully, it doesn't quite. Oh no, is it all going to be so full? Oh jeez, yeah, I don't know if this was a good idea. I've done this before and managed to fit it all in, barely. If the fragrance doesn't rise, I'm not going to need to mix this one with the stick blender. So, although I'm thinking a plain layer is so boring. But anyway, we'll leave you over to the side. What you actually will do... Shit. No, we'll do this one first. We are going to have to stick blend these two. Oh, these lids! I hate these lids. I hate these lids. I'm gonna go to Kmart or Spotlight and spend like $300 and get some decent lids. Decent containers. I'm not. I'm just saying that. I just couldn't justify it. I just couldn't. Okay, so it's a pretty colour. It is really pretty, that marigold. It's just a pretty pastel. Look at that. I mean, seriously, guys, how sexy is that? Look at the sheen on it. Mocha is lovely. Alright, so we're going to do this one first. Now what I'm going to do is I'll put the head of the stick blender on first, and then when I do this, I'm only going to put it down about halfway down. It just helps mix it better. And then now I'll put it all the way down. There's still a little bit that's not mixed, but I can do that with the spoon. But yeah, if you just give it that little initial mix sort of halfway down, it just seems to help it. All the way down to the bottom. And then I tend to pull back up again so that it mixes up to the top. I won't edit that out. What I'll do is I'll just do it without the sound. Okay, now hopefully this fragrance isn't stupid. If it sets up fast, that's fine. I can live with that. Just as long as it doesn't rice. God almighty, does that not look like melted chocolate to you? I could just drink that. I probably shouldn't, but I could. I have like 4,000 spatulas. I'm sure I can use another one. Look at this. Oh, it's so pretty. It's just like little pretty flowers. Oh, eat them all. Oh, I'm too old to have these under benches anymore, guys. Way too old. Alright, so fragrance. This one goes on the bottom, so let's put it in this one first. Don't be a prick. Don't be a prick. Well, bugger me. Well, don't, because no. Just don't. I wonder if that's an expression that will get me demonetized. Maybe I should stop saying that. I should just use a different swear like shitballs instead. That is freaking fabulous. It's also not thickening at all, which okay, not what I expected, seriously, at all. The fluidity of that is grand. Absolutely grand, I'm telling you. So, Iluka, where I live, and this shop, I swear, it's the weirdest thing. In Yamba, where I used to do my pop-up shops and that all the time, the amount of foot traffic, because the amount of foot traffic is like super different. You can't even, there's no way to compare here to there, because Iluka is just a completely different place. It has like 300 people in it. I don't think it's that few, but even the tourists that come here are completely different to the tourists that go to Yamba. Like, I've been questioning people, because I made, honestly, because you know, I'm pretty transparent with things, I was making more money per week before the holidays started. Since the holidays have started, I've noticed a drop-off. Or, if not a drop-off, then it's only comparable. Not definitely not like, I mean, usually when the holidays kick in, you expect to make at least double. And in Yamba, I could make triple. In Yamba, honestly, I was making as much in a day as I am now currently making in about 3 weeks here. So, yeah. Like last week, the rent here for this first initial 3 months, the rent is $200. I made $230 last week. So, you know, while you count that as a success because you paid your rent. But, you know, I mean, you also then have to restock $230 worth of product, which you can't do with $30 unless your stuff is way overpriced, which, me being me, mine is actually for the most part underpriced, and I don't make a lot of profit back on what I make. So anyway, I don't know where I'm going with that. Oh yeah, Iluka, it's just, yeah, the very fact, now I'm pouring this onto my spatch, just in case you're a first timer, pouring this onto the spatula so it doesn't break through this layer, so we don't get like a big dent in there or a drop swirl, because if I just poured that in there, we'd get a drop swirl. So if you pour it on your spatula, it breaks the fall and allows the soap batter to sort of spread out on top of this one and not break into it. That's my technicals for the day. But yeah, usually anywhere you go, if it's a bit of a touristy town, you expect to make more money once the school holidays start as opposed to before they start. So admittedly, the 2 weeks prior to the school holidays, I was only a fairly new shop, so that was a lot of people were coming in, a lot of locals were coming in and buying, and that has now dropped off because they've all come in and bought. There's not a lot of locals, so the position, there's bugger all foot traffic. The only people that walk past here really are people that are going to the hardware, because that's the only thing past here. So yeah. So while I guess the shop, you could consider the shop a success, I guess. For me, however, while I consider it successful, I don't want to do it anymore, because still for me, like a week where, like I said, a week, if I make $230, then I then have to do a market to restock the shop. So I'm sort of going backwards instead of forwards, and I don't want to do that anymore. So the reason I originally moved out here was because I found a place for $300 a week. So if I can just set this all back up in the garage and just do markets, I should be able to get ahead of myself because I don't have to pay $200 a week rent. Plus, I mean, that's not the only, you know what I'm going to do? This is, I can't mix that in there. The rent after the 3 months, the initial 3 month period, is actually going up to $450 a week in Iluka, in a spot where there is no foot traffic whatsoever. Like seriously, I'm pretty sure there's only, honestly, without being silly, I think there's like 3,000 people here. It's not a big place, and it's way out of the way. It's like, what, 20 k's maybe off the highway, and no one comes here unless they're coming here for holidays or anything. So now I've just poured that back in there just because I could not successfully mix the fragrance in that. in that. So yeah, so anyway, so that's what's going to happen with the shop. I'm not even remotely disappointed. I'm glad I gave this another shot. I can see how how this would absolutely work. Not for me, probably, and not in this town, but for someone who's looking to open a shop. Like Keely has said, hey girl, that at some point in the future she would like to do so. I think she would probably do quite well, you know, if she had the right. It's all, I think, honestly, I think it's all about location. Location, the amount of tourists that you have come through, the ability to, if you have a bad week, like last week, as I said, it was $230. You know, I mean, how does anybody live on $30? You don't. You just don't. So yeah, and out of the 9 weeks that I've been here, I've only gone over $450 a week twice. So if the rent did go up, there's no way I could pay it. So, and I don't have a husband or savings or anything that I could fall back on if the shit hit the fan. So, but if you had those things and you had a good location, I honestly think you can do it. So yeah, so as I said, this is way too fluid to do anything with. So I said, I don't consider this a failure by any stretch of the imagination. All, like I said from the very start, was hang on, I wanted to try this for 3 months and see what happened, and yeah, and then maybe, like, if I could get the place again for another 3 months for $200 a week, I still probably wouldn't do it anyway, just because, you know, I mean, I had that week that was $230, and then this is in tourist time. I made $230. Like, what happens when they go home? Are the locals going to start coming back and buying more things? I don't think so, because they've already bought all their things. You know, and most of them come to the markets. And the markets I do once a month and they cost me $25. You know, I'm not struggling to pay that. So, and honestly, for my mental health, I think I've come full circle and I'm back stressing about money again all the time. I'm just wasting time now waiting for this to set up. So I don't think we're going to get any texturing happening. Oh yeah, we might. But yes, yeah, I'm just stressing all the time about the rent, and I'm sick of it. Sick of stressing. So I just want to go home, take all my cool furniture back. I'll go and set up the garage the way I want it set up in my house, because I still haven't unpacked all my office stuff because I had no cupboards because they're all here. And then I'll have time to make videos and make other channel videos, and yeah, and you know, I won't be so exhausted at the end of every day that I don't want to do anything, which is the other thing I'm finding, is that, you know, I haven't touched a doll. That sounds creepy. I did not mean that the way it sounded. I customise Monster High dolls. Now, I haven't touched one of those other than to unpack them since I moved out to Iluka, and I've been out here now for 4 months, because at the end of the day, when I go home from here, I'm just sick of everything. I don't want to do anything, so I just don't. All I want to do is just sit there and watch YouTube videos or go to sleep. So there you have it. No, don't throw the spoon away, idiot. Alright, so let's put some of these things on the top. Although I'm not real keen on the calendula petals either. They just look like, I don't know. Oh, they'll be right when I put some sparkles on them. Okay, but anyway, yeah, that's my majorly long rant about having a shop. Like, Don't let, so that's what I'm saying, I'm trying to explain to you. I don't see this as a failure. And I don't want you guys to see it as a failure and think that you can't, if it's something that you're thinking of doing, don't look at this and go, oh, well, she couldn't do it, so I'm not going to be able to do it. Please don't do that. I honestly think that selling soaps, and, oh God, I sell so many other things, but, you know, I think if it's something that you truly, truly want to do and you truly love, and you've got the opportunity to do it, at least give it a go, you know. Like, if it fails, what's the matter? What's the worst that can happen? You'll lose some money. Just don't bet your house on it, because that's really silly. But you know what I mean? Like, you know, I've always said to you guys, you've got to try these things, or how else do you know? So, and then, you know, I'm stupid. I don't learn from mistakes, because this is the second time I've had a shop. Although admittedly, this was different. And this is the model that works, and this is the one thing that I will tell you. If you are a maker and you make all your things yourself, do not think that you can have a shop front that you run all day, every day, and not make stuff there. If you do that, you won't make it. Unless you are, of course, a robot. Because you cannot sit in a shop for 7 hours a day and then go home and work for another 6 hours making shit. Because, like, if you have a good day, right, and you sell, you know, a quarter of your stock, you have to go home and you have to make that quarter of a stock to take back to the shop. Unless, of course, you start with, you know, 5 times the amount of stock that you actually put in the shop, which is sensible, which I never did, because God forbid I do anything sensible. Seriously. Oh, it smells like tea. Yuck. Yeah, yuck. Definitely yuck. It's pretty though. Wow, so pretty. There you go. It does have a funny smell. But yeah, there's definitely some things you should and shouldn't do. Don't, like, if you can, start with excess stock for absolutely positively, that's what I was looking for. Start with excess stock. If you, especially if you don't have anywhere you can make on the premises, because if you do what I said before, if you're going home working for 6 hours after working 7 hours, you know, then you're working like 12 and 13 hour days or even more, and it's really, it's not good. You'll burn out and then it'll be a waste, and you won't want to do it anymore because you resent it. So that's what happened with me with the first shop. That's why I wanted to do this one, because I had the workshop. It's a workshop, and it works. It's great to be able to just walk out here. Like, if I sell a candle, I'll just come out here and I'll make a candle, you know. Although I do have excess stock now, but when I started I didn't. But yes, start with excess stock for sure. Don't expect to make money. That's the other one. Like, make sure you've got a backup plan. Seriously. This is what I meant about the on either side. I have this, which I think is Red Desert or Garnet Sparkle, might be Garnet Sparkle. And then I have this, which is Grandeur. Oh, Jesus. That was a little much. Poofy poof. Oh, see, that's quite nice. It just gives it a little bit of sparkle without it being like too over the top, and there's like a little sheen down the middle. Not a Martin sheen or a Charlie sheen, just a sheen. Just a little sheen. I've done that joke before and it wasn't funny the first time. At all. Alright, yeah, I don't know. Honestly, if you have any other questions about the shop, chuck them in the comments below. Down there. Whoop, down there, down there. There you go, look at that. And then there. And I will attempt to answer them if I have an answer that I can give you. Like I said, you guys know I'm pretty honest. I'm not going to give you my exact figures because that's none of your business. But when it comes to, you know, how, like, because as I said, God almighty, I can't even finish the sentence. Since the school holidays have started, I've noticed a drop in sales, and that intrigued me because usually tourist places, they spend more money. So when people have been walking in the door, I have been saying to them, oh, are you on holidays? And when they say yes, I say, oh, you know, what brings you to Iluka? And inevitably people here always say just to relax and get away from everything. So people are coming here not to spend money and not to, you know, not to have a party good time and go out and go shopping and stuff. They're coming here to fish and go to the beach and just chill out having a barbie, and because most of this place is like tents and caravans and shit like that, so it's not, there's not a lot of high-end accommodation stuff like in Yamba there is. So I think people with money go to Yamba, which is that way, which is across the water, which is annoying because if you walked from here to Yamba, it would probably take you half an hour. If that's, of course, if you were Jesus and you could walk on water, which I'd like to think I am, but I'm not. To drive to Yamba, though, takes 45 minutes because you have to go all the way around there and then all the way back because you can't just go across the river. No car ferry, just a ferry which costs about, actually it costs more in fees on the ferry than it does in fuel. I tell you what, this place is a hole. But yeah, so that's pretty much what my conclusion is. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've been talking to a lot of other business owners and they are also saying that people don't seem to be spending as much this year as they have in previous years. So yeah, whether or not, it could also be the fires as well. I know that when there are natural disasters, people tend not to spend, not because the natural disasters affect them, but merely just because of the guilt in their mind. Like I was talking to the dude from the hardware this morning, and I was saying the same thing to him. He said, yeah, he said, you know, that's true. And I said, why? He said, well, he said, we've got a spa bath. He said, I was going to fill the spa up last night. He said, but he said, I didn't because, you know, everyone's having a drought right now. And as I said to him, I said, how is you not filling your spa going to help people having a drought? He goes, yeah, I know, it's stupid, isn't it? He said, but that's just the way the mind works. And I said, exactly. I said, and that's why I think people aren't spending. So, but, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, it could just be because they don't like my stuff. I could just, everything could be shit. No. Although, I tell you what, that's the other thing you're going to have to be careful of if you open a business and people don't buy, or don't buy like you think they should, is if you make your own things and people aren't buying them, you may question your self-worth and if your things are worth the amount you charge for them and so on and so forth. So you need to be aware of that. I always pick on Brie because I always tell her that she bases her self-worth on what a boy thinks of her. A boy as in a grown man, because we're grown women, but boys are boys no matter if they're 5 or 55. Honestly, they're all still boys. So I always tell her self-worth is based on what a boy thinks of her, and my self-worth is what people buy off me. Which is sad, but kind of true. So anyway, so yeah, when I get a day when no one walks in the shop, I feel like absolute shit, and you shouldn't, because that's not what it means. But anyway, all right. So I've actually waffled on for a good solid, I don't know, 8 minutes or something at the end of this video, and I wasn't even making any soap, and I'm over here and you can't even see me. You can't see my belly. You can't not see my belly anymore. It's so fat. Oh dear. So yeah. Alright, well, I will leave you with that, and like I said, if you want to ask me anything in the comments. Oh, and hey, what do you think of my little subscribe button that pops up? How cute is that? I couldn't resist. I was like, oh, that's really cute. I want to get one of those. So it pops up over here, I think, does it? I don't know. As I know I put my, in the two corners, I know I put my, my logo in one corner, and I try to always put the writing sort of up here where nothing's usually going on. But, I don't know. Looking at the screen over there, I can't in my mind tell, because I don't know if what I'm looking at on the screen there is what I look at on the screen on the PC when I edit the videos. So I don't know. I will when I edit this video. So this is my left, this is my right. Whereas looking at it on the screen, see, this is my right hand. On that, it's on the left. So is that actually back to front? No. Actually, it's just, no, I'm confused, so I'm going to go home now. I did not make 6 soaps, I made 3, so, you know, that's better than none soaps. I'll come back and make 3 more tomorrow. Alright guys, sorry for the waffle, but, you know, you guys can always just turn this shit off at any point, so I figure I can waffle as much as I want, and I won't know if you turn it off. Alright, I'll catch you for the cutting. Bye. Can already see my mess. I mean, I knew some would come off, but whatever. It's all good. I'm going to cut this way. Look at this. How nice is that colour? And it's still got shimmer in it. You can actually see it still has shimmer. I don't know why it is not synthetic as far as I know, but it definitely still has mica shimmer to it. This is probably still going to leave drag marks, but hopefully not as many. You can see how much this is discoloured because I didn't put any colour in that at all. So that's how much that's discoloured, but I like what it's done to the orange anyway, which is, I mean, it's not that different really. It's sort of just dulled it down if anything, so alright, let's cut this. Hopefully not make too much mess. Oh, don't go through the soap too much. Boy. Oh yeah, I got some drags happening. Oh, you can see the discoloration. Look at that. Look at that, look at the difference. I can't wait till this completely discolors. It's going to be fantastic. I'll have to, whatever that word is, plane the soap, because it's going to probably have drag marks on every single piece. It's so sticky. Looks good though, doesn't it? I mean, it's just layers, but it's just, and the same thing, sorry, this smells getting to me. The same thing I remember now when I used this before, it smells nice in the bottle, but then once it's in the soap, it's way more sandalwoody, and that's not, I'm not a fan. So, what is it? Sorry, we're not open today, doll.
You're not? Okay, I'll come back another time.
Okay. There you go. Probably should have locked the door. Anyway, yeah, I don't know if it has sandalwood in it, but yeah, I don't know, but I have to look it up. It's clove, orange, and Cedarleaf. So, but it smells very, very sandalwood to me. So, and that's pretty much all I'm getting from it now. I'm not getting, like, the orange is basically gone, but I think it comes back if I remember. So, But yeah, look how distinct is this discoloration. This should become, this all should become this colour, or this, yeah, at some point. So if I remember, oh Christ, it's hot. If I remember, I will try and, well, I will remember because it's in here, it's in the video now. I'll put a picture up after I finish cutting it, because I will have taken the beauty shot for the website by then, I would imagine. Look, I'm not going to set up my till and everything for one customer who's probably not going to spend anything. Oh shit, and even if they do, that'll probably be bugger all, so I know that's terrible, but it's my friggin' day off and I'm already doing stuff that I didn't want to have to do on my day off, so whatever. If I've done myself out of a sale, I've done myself out of a sale. Too bad. Except I'll go home and stew on it now. You know what would have looked really nice in this is, as much as I'm not a fan of gold, but I seriously think a gold marker line between each of these would have been quite nice. Would have just maybe set it off just a little bit. So there you go. That colour is awesome. Obviously there was some gold mica in the bottom of the container. And that is it. Last piece. All done. Now my hands stink of this stuff and not the lemongrass and Persian lime, which is a real pity because we know that's much better. I'm going to have to clean that properly now. That's the bad thing about botanicals, is they tend to wrap around your wires and they're so hard to get it off. Alright, we'll see you for the next one, guys. Bye!